Hey, what's up? I'm the Zim. This is the Zim video. This is my video journal where I document and talk about as much as I can remember that went down in my musical and artistic journey and life over the last week. That's pretty much what I stick to, and maybe some other random stuff thrown in here and there. And I always like to start off with a jam of the week, something that I've been listening to or came across my ears, or either new or old, or what, it doesn't really matter. It's just something that's like, oh wow, I remember that song, or oh, this new song came out. And unfortunately this week I don't have one, so I need you to help me out and tell me what you've been listening to. I'd love to hear. Post in the comments what you've been listening to these days, what you love, what your favorite song is, anything like that. I'd love to explore and discover some new music. So let's do it up. Post in the comments. If you have links too, that's even better, but otherwise just the name and titles and those kind of things. Let's go. So I always go jam of the week, and then word on the street stuff. I go music, what's going on in the music world, and then life stuff. So word on the street is a podcast I make about the Seattle and Northwest music community, kind of designed to discover and celebrate the culture of the Seattle music scene, and it's kind of transitioning into more of a documentation series rather than anything else other than that. So that's what's been going on at WOTSpodcast.com, where you can find it. Links in the description of this. But we had Among Authors on, great Seattle band, Among Authors. And this one, so last week I mentioned I haven't had time to listen to them, so I haven't been listening to them all the way through after putting them together. But this week I managed to find the time, and I did, and it was awesome. I loved it. One thing, there was a whole bunch of stuff that I could probably go into, but I didn't write it down as I listened to it. And there's one thing in particular that I remember hearing, because I think it's an important topic, important idea that's kind of I've noticed about the Seattle Northwest music community, and it was the idea of that I mentioned. I gave this list. You know, we were talking about what it takes to be a musician in the current climate of being a musician and have a career out of it and thinking about it. And you know, basically my filter is always the filter of wanting to do more, wanting to create music that has the potential to be exposed to a broader audience. So that's the filter I'm looking at. And so I made a comment with, like, you know, local bands need to play locally. Like that should be like the last priority thing on their list of priorities is playing locally. And I think it was kind of misunderstood in a little bit of ways. I mean, because we didn't really go into full details, but I wanted to explain now kind of why I said that and what I meant. And I did explain a little bit on the podcast. So basically, what I really meant to say, or what I should have said, was that playing locally is a given. Being a part of the local community is a given. You need to be doing that regardless. It's just don't only be doing that. And I think that's where a lot of local bands get caught. They get so focused on their local shows, their local thing, they forget that if you want to break out, if you want to have more exposure for your craft, for your band, for doing more, you have to break the cycle of only playing locally and do what else do we need to do. So you have to do that end. It's an end conversation. It's not an or conversation. It's not don't play locally. It's play locally and go on tour and produce really great online presence, videos, your music, you know, recordings, regular recordings. I mean, I'm a firm believer nowadays that an album isn't good enough anymore. You need to be putting out a new song every month at least, you know, kind of ideas. It's like doing one album and then waiting 2 years to do another album. You just don't want to do that anymore. You want to put out new, fresh content as often as you could possibly do it, manage with your schedule and what's going on, and trying to figure that. And I'm almost to the point, like, don't make an album, just make singles. And that's what I'm doing with theZim and Arock and myself. And that's where I'm kind of focused, is just put out music every month, put out a new song every month, put a video with it, put a song out, you know, do that kind of thing. And after a year you have 12 songs and you can compile that into an album or something. But don't do it kind of backwards. You don't go make the album and then release the singles, then make the album. That's kind of like what I think is kind of more of an appropriate way to approach what you need to do, because you just want to keep feeding. You just keep feeding everybody the things you're doing. And there's this argument, this is kind of playing into the argument of, you know, posting on social too much. if anybody thinks that you're posting on social too much, they're not really a fan of your music and what you're doing. People that become fans of what you're doing cannot get enough of it. They want it every single day. So the people that are saying, oh, you post too much, it's like the haters are going to hate. It's like they're not really your fans anyway. They're not the audience you're going for, so you do not have to listen to them. You do just post as often as, like, curate your posts. I mean, if any of you are interested in going deeper on this subject and what I think is appropriate types of posts and how to do it and how to curate it so it gets the best maximum kind of return on your time investments, I'd love to go that in with you. Feel free to ask me. Maybe I'll do a post about a video or something about what I think is a good rhythm for posting on the internet and doing what kind of posts and how you should do them. So maybe I'll do that down the line. So keep an ear out, an eye out for that. But basically I just want to address that idea of, like, it's just more bands need to focus on things other than playing local shows in the Seattle Northwest music scene, because it's just over and over and over. And the most successful bands, I mean, you see them, the ones that get the love from the bigger outlets are not playing, all the time in the local scene. They're going on tour, they're doing more stuff than just playing locally. So consider it. If you're investing a lot of energy in your local scene and it doesn't feel like your career is going the way you want it to, switch it up, change it up. Play once a month at most, and then focus on getting outside. Even, like, not even just to Tacoma, to Portland. You don't have to go to East Coast. You don't have to go to that far away. Just change it up, shake it up. And it's hard. It's just as hard in every other city to get a gig, because it's like they all ask the same question: how many people can you draw? But you just gotta keep hustling and keep networking and make your way down there. Find friends that'll put a party together. Just make it an everyday effort to, what can I do today that has nothing to do with playing locally and is something different, something putting together a great video. I mean, all the stuff I just mentioned, I can kind of keep going in circles talking about it. But so feel free to agree, disagree, let me know your thoughts, or if you want more information from me, post in the comments. I'd be happy to talk about that more. Coming up this week is Island Halogram and Audrey Lane were on the podcast for I Am Halo, is a project that the band or whatever they're working on. So check that out. It's coming up, the next podcast I'm putting out. And so, as I've said before, I'm not promoting the Patreon and things like that anymore. I think I did a pretty good job. It makes it really awkward for me because I really enjoy that kind of just talking part at the beginning of the podcast with the intro. But I just did a much shorter intro this week, but I've changed it up. I'm going to change it up again because, hey, it's my podcast and I can do whatever I want. I'm going to start giving tips at the beginning of each podcast. They may recycle because I don't know how many. I don't know where to look like. I know there's like 5 or so that are like paramount, and I'm going to give a tip on what you need to do to be a better your career in your career as a musician. For the lens that I'm looking at is the broad lens. I mean, it's nuance. There's a lot of nuance in this thing. I'm not like talking about if you want to always stay in Seattle and just play the same bars over and over. That's a whole different conversation. If you want to just be a working musician in Seattle, that's a completely different conversation than the conversation I'm trying to have, which is you want to take your music out to the world, but you want to start in Seattle. You want Seattle to be your home base, and then you want to have a broader audience. You want to be the next Macklemore. You want to be the next Pearl Jam. You want to be the next Soundgarden. You want to be the next Brandi Carlile. You want to be the next Death Cab for Cutie. You want to be the next Modest Mouse. Those are all those types of bands. That's what I'm talking about. You want to be the next band that breaks out. Head in the Heart. Who else was Fleet Foxes? There's tons. Endless. There's so many bands that have started in Seattle and have gotten broader awareness for what they're doing and are doing it and are on tours. Alan Stone, another one. There's just endless. I can keep going on and on and on about it. That's what I'm talking. That's the conversation I'm trying to have. If you want that, I think what I have to say will help you get there. If you just want to play locally and you want to just kind of generate a local fan base, then that's a whole different conversation, which I can have too if you want it, but that's not the conversation I'm really going for. So anyways, I'm going to start giving tips on what I believe is the best routes to do that, because I've been studying this, regardless of the fact that I haven't done it myself, but I have been studying. And there's an old saying, those that can't do, teach. Well, I'm teaching, and I'm teaching you, hopefully, but I'm also teaching myself, because I still have a lot of life in front of me to do this as well, and I've been cherry picking all the best ideas and all the best things I could think of through the podcast, through the studying, through watching, through listening, through all that stuff. I'm cherry picking, and when the time comes, I'm just going to keep working toward it, that everything should fall into place as I planned. So we're on this journey together. That's the whole reason I'm doing these video journals. It's because I'm documenting this journey so you can see it. So when we look back, we can go, oh, he was right. You know, that's just it's just fact. It's just straight up fact. So there's that. Music. What's going on in the music world and podcast/podcast. So I did buy a new audio interface. Here's a thumbnail of a review I did for it. It's the Behringer Euphoria UMC404 HD. So check it out if you want. It's on this channel. I'll link it up. I'll put the URL in the description of this video as well. But just a quick review and unboxing/review type thing. So I put that up. Got the new audio interface, so I should be able to start actually recording some music again soon. The question though right now is, which kind of rolls into the next, these all kind of tie together. My music is actually sort of in a holding pattern right now. I do have songs, like I've been mentioning, out. Songs are out with the producer who's working on them. So there's that going on, but it's out of sight of me. I'm not really doing no hands-on with them yet. He's working on them. So we got that going on. But me physically, I haven't picked up my guitar in a while. So, I've just been so working on, basically what I want to talk about now is just like, I've been burnt out. Like my whole life thing, I've burnt myself out, and feel like I'm actually coming out of it a little bit. I'm coming back to a normal place because of what I decided to do over the last like 3 weeks or so. I'm forcing myself to take a couple days off from driving for Lyft. So I'm only driving 5 days a week now instead of trying to fit in 7 like I was. So I'm driving 5 days a week, and then I'm also last week I started exercising. Maybe I'll put a screenshot there of some of my running. I've used the Nike app to track my running. So I started running again, not very far, not very fast, but I'm getting out there, getting exercise, and I went shopping, I know what picture is going to be out there. I went shopping for some good food that works well for me. I think it's very important, when people say eat a healthy diet and all that kind of stuff, it's very important to understand what your body needs, not what somebody says to eat. So you have to be aware of your body. I mean, there's some givens, stay away from sugar, stay away from too much bread, there's like things like that are just kind of givens, but how much meat, how much protein, how much other things you need is really, listen to your body to tell you what that is. Fat, fat is not bad, but listen to your body. And if you're eating bacon and you feel crappy, maybe don't eat bacon, eat something else. But if you, just listen to your body will tell you, if you're willing to listen to it, what you should be and shouldn't be doing. I mean, you should try to detox in some way to have a even ground. That would be a great way to start. If you're not aware of your body that well, try to do a detox and then go, okay, let's start putting food back in it and seeing how my body reacts to it. But anyways, just find out what works well for your body. That's important. Don't listen to other people. Just find out what works for your body. So that's what I think about diet. But it's rest, diet, and exercise, super huge, super important to make sure that you can continue going. And I'm seeing those 3 things as like the viewpoint I'm taking now is like, it's medicine. It is required for me to function appropriately as a human being for where I'm at in life and everything I need to do. If I'm not getting those things in the amounts that I need to get them in, I will get sick and die. And basically I have been getting sick. My anxiety has been going crazy. It's just like, I just haven't been feeling well. But however, ironically, or not so ironically actually, because I know I've been getting more rest, taking off, like I just said, from Lyft, on not working 2 days a week, getting more rest. I've been eating healthy, as I just mentioned, buying food that works well for me, and I've been exercising. And my schedule for exercising is, I plan to exercise Monday through Friday and take the weekends off, because I'll be working, partly because I'll be working Lyft on the weekends. So my schedule for Lyft is basically Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday I take off and then work the other 5 days. And then my schedule for exercising is taking the weekends off and working out the other 5 days. And you know, there was a time where I needed, when I was working for Lyft, I start early, take a break, and drive late again. And in that middle, I would take a nap and stuff. But instead of taking a nap, I go for a run, and I haven't needed the nap. You know, it's like, and it's pretty interesting. You know, even though I'm using more energy, I'm gaining more energy. It's an interesting idea that I think is pretty profound if you're willing to dedicate the time to figure out for yourself. To anybody that says they're too tired to do things, it probably means you need to be doing more of the things that are good for you rather than the things that are not good for you. So consider that. So that's where I'm at with this whole cycle, and I'm really excited about it. I'm feeling better. You know, honestly, I felt like I would have rarely loved to just take a week off or more and just been like, I can't do it, just like, but I can't afford that. I need to keep going. So I'm gradually getting myself back into a level place. But the one thing I haven't figured out yet totally is how to get my music and art piece back into that rhythm. I'm working a lot, I'm getting my exercise, I'm prioritizing my exercise and eating healthy, but now I gotta prioritize my music and art and figure out what schedule and how to make that happen. So, I don't know, yeah, I haven't figured it out totally, because work has been busier. Like when I'm out driving, I don't get back here as often as I used to during the winter. So to sit down and work on the computer and work on things isn't as easy as it was for a while. So I just gotta figure it out. But definitely Tuesdays and like the 2 days I'm taking off from Lyft, I'm definitely doing like making videos and doing things like that. So priority. And I actually talked to somebody, which I'm gonna start doing as well, putting dates on when I want things done by in terms of, you know, projects I have. If I'm working on a song, put a date, like write it down and put a date when it's done by, and then it'll make it, instead of just having a long list of things I need to do, go long list with dates. So it kind of prioritizes, like, oh, okay, I want to get this done by this time, but that has a longer, so I'll, you know, move things around. So I think I'm going to start working that into my thing. I've never really done it that way. I've always just done lists, but I haven't really put dates by where I want them done. So one thing, I think that's about it. The one highlight from last week, my favorite highlight from last week was I got asked to be, I think I mentioned on last week, but I got asked to be on the Pick Me Up at 5 show, which is a rideshare show out of Atlanta because of the rideshare videos I'm making, which I did make another one. I don't know if this got published before, but it's really close by. My 22nd rideshare video, so check it out. Drove in Comic-Con, and I talked all about that. But I was on the Pick Me Up at 5 show, which was super awesome. We talked for about, you know, half hour, 40 minutes or something. I'll link up the on-demand version of the show in the you know, description of this video. But it was really rad. We basically talked for 40 minutes about star ratings, you know, the philosophies around star ratings and all this stuff. But it made me feel really good, and that's the kind of, I mean, that's the projection that I'm trying to go with my career, who I am. Everything I'm doing, I want that to happen more often, and I'd love it to happen in a way that people pay me to give my ideas, like speaking and whatnot. But for now, it's like if more people ask me my opinion and want me to be a part of that, I love it, and I want to do more of that, and I have to figure out how to do more of that, because I love talking. I love talking about myself. I love talking about my ideas, and it's pretty rad that it's happened with this rideshare stuff. So I'm just kind of rolling along, which reminds me as well. Put up the I started a new Instagram account just for my rideshare, so I'm going to basically be posting to it every day I'm working, for sure, posting different ideas, different things about working in rideshare, how much I made each day, different stuff. I'll be posting every day on that, so if you want to keep track of the daily track more so of my rideshare experience, follow that Instagram. It's at ridesharezim on Instagram. So there's that, but also, of course, the weekly ones I do as well, my videos, my rideshare videos. But so that was rad. Check out the show I was on. It was awesome. And that's about it. So if you have any questions for me, be sure to comment, and love to talk to you. Tell me your jam of the week. Subscribe to this channel, give this video a thumbs up, and all that good stuff. And I'll catch up with you next time. Peace.